Hello, hello, happy Saturday. I wanted to show you guys what I got at Whole Foods today. So we're gonna unpack my grocery bags on a Facebook Live, and I'm gonna tell you about some of my favorite products and things that I like to buy at the grocery store. All right, let's start with the first bag. So in this bag, we have some microgreens, specifically daikon radish microgreens. I love these because you get a lot of bang for your buck in terms of nutrition. So they're packed with lots of vitamins and minerals, more than their grown mature plants. So like a regular daikon radish, these have a lot more vitamins and nutrients in them. Okay, next we have some Brussels sprouts. I like to buy these because I didn't see very good quality ones in the produce section other than these pre-prepped ones. And bonus, they're already cut for you, so that's helpful. All right, and then another thing I really love is watercress. I'm going to be doing a post about watercress and how amazing it is. I love putting this in my smoothies. Lots of nutrition packed in watercress. Really nutrient dense and very high in antioxidants also. Next, we have some almond milk. I've talked about this almond milk before. I love it because there's only 2 ingredients. So it's just water and almonds. So really, really good. A lot of almond milk has preservatives in them or thickeners like gums, and I love this brand, 3 Trees, because it's literally only 2 ingredients, and so very clean product. It's almost like making it yourself. All right, let's see what else I got in here. Oh, got some parsley. I love putting this in my smoothies and making pesto with it. I have a red bell pepper. I'm going to be making a recipe with this. So a lot of this stuff is for recipe testing that I'm going to be sharing with you guys. So I'm excited about that. Let's see what I got in here. Oh, I got a lot of stuff in here. Okay, so I got a red onion, a lime, a shallot, which is just a more mild onion flavor than like a red onion or a white onion. And I got some cute little gourds because it's fall and they're festive. So I'm going to put them on my table. Okay, what else? Ooh, all my bulk stuff. So Whole Foods is having a sale on all their bulk items. So they're having 20% off on all of their bulk. So I stocked up on some things. Here's some sprouted green lentils. These are a great source of protein if you don't eat a lot of meat. Really good fiber too. I got some raw walnuts. I love putting walnuts in pestos because they almost taste like cheese. So I don't put any cheese in my pestos. Normally pestos have Parmesan, but if you put walnuts, they kind of give it that cheesy flavor. So next time you make a pesto, if you make it yourself, try putting some walnuts in there. And of course pine nuts, because I put pine nuts in my pestos too. So I'm just stocking up on these nuts, and I'll put them in the freezer because nuts are really high in fat, and so they can go rancid pretty easily. So when I stock up and buy in bulk like this, I will put them in the freezer so they last longer. All right, and now we got some nutritional yeast. So similar to walnuts, this has a cheesy flavor as well. And the cool thing about nutritional yeast is it's really high in B vitamins, and it's actually a complete protein. So it has a full amino acid profile, just like a piece of meat does. So it's a really cool thing to supplement in your diet. I make dairy-free cheese sauces out of this. I'll put this in pesto sometimes in place of Parmesan. It's a really versatile ingredient, or you can sprinkle it on pasta instead of Parmesan. So nutritional yeast is one of my favorite pantry items to always have. Okay, so that was the first bag. Let's get the next bag over. Oh, this one's super heavy. Okay. Here we go. Oh, I got another little pumpkin festive. Okay, let's see what's in here. Oh, sweet potatoes. I got a couple sweet potatoes in here that I'm going to be doing a recipe with that I'll be sharing with you guys. And I got some canned black beans. If you're gonna buy canned, this is the best brand to buy. It's Eden Organic, and the reason is their cans have BPA-free lining, and if you look at the ingredients, it says black beans, water, and kombu seaweed. So kombu is obviously a seaweed, but when beans are cooked with kombu, it helps the digestibility of the beans. And so sometimes people have a hard time digesting beans, especially canned beans, but when they're cooked with kombu, it helps the body digest them better. And you'll see it here, it says no salt added because kombu is salty in itself because it's a seaweed. So Eden Organic is a great brand if you're gonna buy canned beans. I love it. They're a little pricier, obviously, but totally worth it if you want canned beans because they're not going to mess with your digestive system. And then I got some garbanzo beans. I'm gonna be making some roasted chickpeas as a snack. More black beans. I got some hot sauce. This is my favorite hot sauce. Most hot sauces have added sugar to them. This one doesn't. It's just jalapeno peppers, vinegar, salt, and apple cider vinegar. So it's a really clean hot sauce, no additives. Really, really good. And for all you people that like hot sauce, you're gonna love that. And I got some mustard because I always use mustard in my homemade salad dressings. And when you buy mustard, you want to look for what vinegar they're using. So I actually really like this Whole Foods brand because they use apple cider vinegar, as you can see on this label. So really cool. Apple cider vinegar is really good for you. It's not as acidic as like white vinegar or balsamic vinegar. So if you're gonna buy mustard, the 365 Organic brand is awesome. What else? Oh, another pumpkin. As you can tell, I'm loving the season. I got some olive oil. This is my favorite brand. It's California Olive Ranch. Cold pressed. This is what I use in my pestos and my salad dressings. And if I'm making anything else that doesn't require high heat. This is my favorite olive oil. And what else? Coconut oil, because coconut oil is life and it can be used for everything. So you want to look for raw coconut oil, cold pressed, definitely unrefined. So when you're buying coconut oil, just look for those things: unrefined, cold pressed, and raw, and extra virgin. So this is actually a new brand. I've never actually tried it before, but it was the cheapest at Whole Foods, and it's just as good as the other brands that are cold pressed and unrefined as well. Okay. Coconut butter. I love coconut butter. So this is basically just the meat of the coconut pureed. And so it's kind of like an almond butter, but obviously from coconut. I put this in my smoothies. I use it to make dairy-free puddings, like avocado puddings. It's really, really good. And it has a natural sweetness to it, so it's really decadent. I love it. And it gets solid at room temperature or cold. So you can warm it up or you can just throw it in your smoothies cold. Either one. It's really, really good. And a good source of healthy fat. Okay, now on to my favorite gluten-free pasta ever. It's called Chickpea, and it's made from chickpeas and lentils. And it's really, really high in protein and fiber. So this is something I've discovered recently, and the texture of it is amazing. I absolutely love it. And I've only been able to find it at one store, and that's the Whole Foods by me. But I'm sure you could order it online. I haven't really looked yet, but I absolutely love it. The texture is so good, and honestly, it's gluten-free, really high in protein and fiber, like I said. So it's a great substitute, and you can see it's just chickpea flour and red lentil flour. So I like to have this on hand if I want pasta one night. I got some Kalamata olives for a recipe that I'll be sharing with you. And Daiya mac and cheese, because when I have a mac and cheese craving, you know, I just want it. So this is a really good thing to have in your pantry if you just want some mac and cheese. It's dairy-free, gluten-free, and yeah, I recommend giving it a try. This brand's pretty popular now, so a lot of stores will carry it. And you just boil it and then add the cheese sauce. It's really good. Okay, so this is one of my splurge items, and I call it a splurge item because normally I make my pestos all by myself because it's cheaper, and I just like to because I can control the ingredients. But this brand specifically is amazing. It's kind of expensive though. This little bottle's 10 bucks, so I only get it when I'm like really wanting to treat myself. But when you're buying pestos in the store, you really want to look, one, at what oil they use, and two, if they have preservatives or cheese. So this one's made with olive oil, and it's made with cashews, basil, sea salt, pine nuts. There's no cheese in it, so it's vegan, and it's a sun-dried tomato pesto. It's so yummy. So if you find this or you feel like trying it, I highly recommend it. Super good. Okay, that's it for that bag. And last bag, we're almost done. Okay, so this bag, I'll start with these. These are Siete tortillas. They're grain-free, and I have the cassava and chia, and then I also got almond flour. So if some people can't tolerate corn, and corns can be inflammatory, so I don't like to have a lot of corn, and when I do, I like to have it in the form of chips, chips and salsa specifically. But these are really good for, you know, taco night, making enchiladas. Like I said, they're grain-free. Ingredients are really good. Let's see, where are they? Yeah, cassava flour, water, coconut flour, chia seeds, coconut oil, avocado oil, apple cider vinegar, and sea salt. And then the almond flour ones have almond flour, tapioca flour, water, sea salt, and xanthan gum. So these are a treat, obviously, but I highly recommend this brand. They have tortilla chips too, grain-free tortilla chips. But I love these, and I'm going to be making a recipe with them that I'm sharing with you guys this week. I got some cilantro for those tacos that you'll see soon. Broccoli, a bunch of broccoli for another recipe. Oh, and I have a tip for you. When you're buying broccoli, a lot of times they come with those really big stems on them, and the stems are the heaviest part. So if you're only wanting the florets, ask the produce guy to chop the long stems off, because most broccoli is bought according to weight. So if you're buying the broccoli with the really big stems that are super heavy, and then you cut the stems and throw them away, you're basically just throwing away money. So tell your produce guy or ask him to cut the long ends off, and then your broccoli will be cheaper. Or if you don't want to cut the stems off, then you can save it and use in like a vegetable stock, or you can put it in smoothies. Just make sure you're not throwing away money. Okay, and I got some baby spinach for smoothies and one of my recipes. And then lastly, I really just wanted chips, and San Diego State football plays tonight, and I'm an Aztec alumni, and I just, you know, I wanted some chips while I watched my football tonight because it's Saturday. And so I love this brand, Garden of Eden, and these are called Red Hot Blues. They have like chili powder and spicy seasonings on them. The only thing I don't like about these chips is that they use canola oil and or safflower oil or sunflower oil. So I talk about oils a lot in how you don't want to have oils like this because they can be pro-inflammatory. But the good thing about this company is it says non-GMO. So that means the canola oil or the sunflower oil or safflower oil is not genetically modified, which means it's going to be better than if you just had genetically modified canola oil or the other ones. So this is definitely a treat for me, and I always like to make sure I'm incorporating a lot of greens or, you know, things that are really anti-inflammatory if I'm going to have something like this, so that way my body doesn't become super inflamed or irritated by this. So this is one of my favorite chips if you guys want to try them out. Okay, so that's my grocery haul. That's all of it. Let me know if you guys have any questions, and I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll talk to you guys soon.